Hi, I'm Ocean Sea Poet. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about myself. Since I was little, my mom told me that I was beating on her pots and pans. I was already drumming then. So one Christmas, my mother bought me a drum set. You remember those little paper drum sets that they used to have in the old days? I mean, you hit it and pat it, pap, they gone. I didn't know that because I was sitting up there going crazy hitting them. But as I got older, she sent me to drum lessons. She brought me my first drum set. So, I mean, now I'm 57 years old. We'll be 58 very soon. I think it's time that I do something with the drumming since my mom put forth so much so I can do something when it came become to my drumming. As you know, I am an animated graphic designer. I have a software called iClone that I use, and I just create off my avatar that I have. I create my own scene, and I freeze the scene that I like the way it looks. And if it gives that idea like I like it, I put it on a T-shirt. So I have released some books that I have wrote poetry for a very, very, very long time. I think I might have been around maybe 18. No, I wasn't 18. Maybe 14, 15, something like that. That's when I started writing poetry. But I say later around about let me see, maybe about 2004. That's when I wrote a whole lot of books of poetry that I made books out of them, but I never released it to anyone until this year. I put them all together and I released two of those books from one of the old books that I had. Now I plan on releasing some more of my old work as well. And then I did release my first graphic novel entitled Justice Truth. You can look for it on Kindle ebook. I will be releasing the book on paperback very, very soon. Also, I had a book that's called Revolutionist Poetical Protest X, and I have released that, and also in 2020, I believe that's that date there, and either 20 or 2021. And right now, I am editing the second part, Revolutionist Poetical Protest XX. So far, I have 60 pages that's on there, and I really want to put it release as much poetry that I can that's from inside of me onto my pages. This is what I want to do. So that's what I'll be working on. And as far as Justice Truth, my graphic novel, because I use my animations and everything to set that whole story up. And with that story, if you go, it's at the end, it's gonna have a continue. So probably later on, I'm gonna have to end it right in the second half of Justice Truth, because look at the story, you understand why it has to be a second part. And I have a lot of other stuff in mind that I want to do. Like I said, I do want to do an audio. I want to go to in a studio because of the fact that I have hearing loss in both of my ears, and I can't do very well when it comes to when it's doing the recording, because I mean it might be too loud and not at the right angle that it should be. So that's why I need help with that. So I do want to compose with drumming in the poetry book that I write myself. And I want to get more instruments involved in it. And also, I forgot about that. I am working on another book that I'm slowly doing, because I do have a book that's on Amazon shelf right now with the rest of my books I talked about. It's called First Step Toward Healing and Enlightenment. In this book, I spoke about my first spiritual quest that I took right after my mother had passed away. It was like everything was going on and I needed to be free. So after that, I wrote about it. So now I am right now on that journey to accepting my second spiritual quest. So I'm writing about it as I go along the way, because it takes time to develop discipline. It really takes time. You know how we humans are. But back to that, I mean, my future, I do want to do a CD with my poetry. And with that CD, I want to have the CD, and I want to have the book of poetry, and I want to sell it together. Also, I want to do some more of the art graphic art that I do with my animation. I want to have more of that on T-shirts and sell that, because I create my own T-shirts myself. I have a machine where I use that and have my blank T-shirts, and I apply that and do that myself. I also put my graphic art on photo paper, which I have done before, and I think it was last year for the Minnesota. Ooh, I can't think of the name of it. My art was invited to the ball that they had, because they usually have an event where they have a performance and they also have an art show as well. It was the Grand Marshal Ball. Yeah, that's the one that my artwork was selected for. So I want to be able to do more of that situation. What's going on right here with me is like, I've been doing this for a very, very long time. Since 2015, I think. I've been trying to get my work out there and show people my art and who I am. But it's like, I've been going through a lot of loops after loops after loops. I mean, there's so many things that I can do, and I'm thankful for the blessing and the gift given. But how do I get it out there to the world to see my work? I mean, you have social media, but in our world today, it's almost like you have to know somebody for somebody to continue to tell somebody about what you are doing. And if you don't know too many people, I mean, you can, pass it on and pass it on. I mean, in the past, I've done another Saturday Night Poet, which you can find on YouTube, where I interview people who were poets and writers to come in and talk about their books and everything like that. And back then, I had a whole lot of followers that I was able to, interact with people. So now I taking that time to help them take that step to help other people. Now I need to take that step further to get my work across. Because, I mean, even me, I was with the Interact Center for Visual and Performing Arts for a very, very long time, and some years. And I started off as an artist there. But I ended up being a performance artist when they found out I can play the drums. And in their plays and performance, I would play the drum there. Also, like I say, I just even when I was there, I still did my work that I want to do, but my work wasn't really getting across because I was too busy doing what they have me to do. So that's the thing there. How do I get myself out there? I mean, I have a business, small business, for real, 2202. And I mean, like I said, I do American person in America get somewhere with their work. How do I do that? I mean, I've been trying to open this door for a very, very long time. I mean, it's like before I had a coach before, and they have taught me some things along the way, and I've learned some things along the way, but it's like you learning and learning. But when does your foot get in the door? When will people know your work is online and read it? I mean, there's a lot of books on the shelf right now. And, it's on the way somebody know who you are is somebody, they told somebody that but, it's hard in my situation, especially I am a disabled artist. As you know, I have hearing loss in both of my ears. I have a traumatic brain injury. So, to help me relax, I do the animation that relaxes me. When I'm beating the drum, it helps me and also the fact that I tell the difference that something is not right with my brain, because when I'm hitting the drum, I feel that on my right hand, but when I'm beating on my left hand, I notice the difference. And I also notice the difference, like when it's raining, uh, that usually tend to give myself a headache. But usually, if my head is not hurting and I try to beat, I can't. It's like my brain does not function well when I know it's about to rain or storm coming. So I'm well aware of the things that have been, going with me health wise. So to take care of myself and keep me motivated and going, I continue to play the drum, and I continue to write, and I continue to do my animation. Keep me busy. I mean, I want to be able to create more and more stories. I mean, that I want to be told. There's so much you can do with animation and put it on the pages of a book. And I really enjoy it. It takes time to put a book together like that. It really does. And I mean, for me, that I thought I got through, editing on the pages and put it on the or a paperback, just as truth. I mean, it took some days for me to put that all the way on, the pages like that, because I usually use what's that, Kindle Create, to use my animation and make an ebook. That was very, very simple. As long as you know how the story goes, it was simple for me to do. But once I had to put it on paperback, you have to go back through the whole story, and thank goodness I saved it the way I did. I was able to put everything in place, not just everything in place, also to add even more graphic art to this book on my paperback. So, I mean, I just, like I say, I would need help moving forward and working with somebody to be able to get me, out there, my name out there, not just waiting, but to know that like for one thing, I know I always wanted. I always wanted to have an event where I'm selling my T-shirts, with my graphic art on it. I'm selling my photo paper things that you can, buy, that they real big sizes and small sizes. And also, I would be, I want to play drums that day at my event there. So that's something I've always told coaches and whoever was helping me. I would like my own event, but for some reason here in Minnesota, nobody has helped me get that event. So I think that's the step where I need to be, where I'm trying to get to. So it will take time. If it happens, happens. I mean, I'm doing the hard work. I'm just hoping that doors will open. So, I think that's about it when it comes to, to me. I know I'm a transgender male. having a hard time trying to get my testosterone so I can, you know, feel freely like myself dealing with crazy insurance company. But that's about it. I mean, I just love being creative and especially writing and expressing myself because, you know, when you live alone and so much is going on in your world and you know you're not able to speak or you're trying to speak and nobody's listening. And the best thing I do with that is I drum and especially write either a story or write me some poetry so I can release. That's just me. Just born to be creative. And I'm thankful for the blessing. All right. Thank you all for your support. Be safe out there and break the cycle.